Welcome to About Gear. I'm your host Dash. Behind the camera here, we're going to take a look at an MRE, meal ready to eat. This is an individual meal and it is the Country Captain Chicken. Now I'm going to go through a bunch, check the description down below for all the details that are important. But what is this? Well, as it says, it is a meal that is ready to eat. There is a heating element inside which will heat the entree, and there are self-contained side dishes and accessories and the whole bit. So we'll take a look in just a second. But this is probably dated from 2001 to 2003. I had a couple other of these that I picked up for free on Craigslist because they're not really edible at this age. They typically last anywhere from 6 months if you're in the really high heat, or if you have it in properly stored, about 50-degree cool basement, you might be able to get 3-4 years out of it. You know, people can eat well past that, but it's just something that it's just not smart. If you don't need to, why bother? So let's get on with it. This is a self-contained meal. Again, Country Captain Chicken. There are probably hundreds of different menu items out there, and I was just lucky enough to find my favorite, and we'll get to why in a second. But there's a website out there that the company that makes these puts out so you can identify them, because there's no actual date on the outside package. It's only on the entree items. I'd highly encourage you guys to check it out if you're really curious. But the advantages for these is it's all self-contained. You don't need any utensils, tools, or any outside source to make this meal work. You don't need water, you don't need seasoning, you don't need any of that. They even provide toilet paper and a match if you need to light a fire to heat it alternatively. You also have everything is, you know, there's lots of flavor options, so it's not just like rice and beans. You have, in this case, you'll have chicken, you'll have a side, which we'll find out in a minute which it is, dessert, drink mix, and again all the necessary items to eat it. And finally, it's self-contained. There's a lot of smaller packages, so if you only want to eat part of it, you can only eat part of it. You don't have to eat the whole thing at once like you would a freeze-dried meal. Now, disadvantages are cost. This would typically run about $8. You can see it is, where is it? Commercial resale is unlawful. You usually won't find these outside of commissary. You occasionally see them on eBay and so forth. So you can find them anywhere from $8 to $10, just depending on the entree. Some are more desirable than others, as well as the date. These, as soon as they are manufactured, they assemble from different lines. So you might have something, say this is 2013, you might have something that's produced at the beginning of the year and the end of the year, all assembled in one package. And you'll find out when we open it up. I'll show you how to identify them, but again, check that description for the details. So let's open it up. You can see there's no need for a knife. There's a little V right at the top there, which you open up and you kind of pull apart right on that spot, and that's going to start tearing, and then the whole package is open. Now, you can save this if you absolutely had to in an emergency. You could use this to hold water, so you'd be careful and maybe only open a half that. Or you could use this as a trash bin once you're all said and done. But kind of lay everything out here. As you can see, it's all really well contained. We'll kind of set that off to the side there. Here we have our heating element for our entree. Now, I actually misspoke earlier. You said I didn't need water. You do need about, I don't know, 3 tablespoons of water to get that going. We have, in this entree, we have cheese spread, crackers. This is your drink mix. This is a cappuccino mocha. Pretty cool. M&M's is your dessert. We have a toaster pastry. Oh man. Here's all your accessories we'll get to in a second. Of course, your spoon to eat everything. And this is, let's see, what do we have? Noodles in butter flavored sauce, which is your side. And then your main entree, Country Captain Chicken. Oh yeah. So we have this, which we'll take out in a second, and we'll show you how it works. Fits inside the sleeve here, and you heat it up. But as you can see, it can get quite cumbersome if you had to carry all this around with you if you're trying to go on just a regular hike. Now, if you're stationary, it works pretty good. Let's take a look real quick at the dating system. See if I can get it close up here. You notice there's a bunch of numbers up top. I'll show you a couple others here in a second. This one says 2226 right here, and you're looking for a set of 4 numbers, and what the first number is going to identify is the year. So in this case it's a 2, so it's going to be manufactured in 2002. The last 3 numbers are the day of the year, so this was manufactured on day 226 out of 365, unless it was a leap year, but we'll get over that. So that tells you it's manufactured, you know, in the fall or so. Let's take a look at this one. Let's see where we have date on this one. Alright, this is 2203, again 2002, 203rd date of the calendar year. Take a look one more at these crackers, see if we can find it on here. This is, so you can see it there, 2227, if I'm reading it upside down. And then, so again, that 222nd day of the second year of 2000. This one's 2116 on the drink mix. So I think you guys get the idea. And they're just, you can find them in all these packages. Well, here you go. Here's a good example. So we have a bunch of numbers here. Let's see if I can get that in focus. Okay, so we have 2045132. You're going to look for those first four set of numbers and something that's going to make sense. So it's 2002, and generally it's going to be within the year of everything else here, so you can get an idea. So 2002 and the 45th day, so 045. And the reason why I'm going over this is extremely important. These stuff, you know, certain things will expire quicker. Sometimes they have, this is cheese spread, sometimes they have peanut butter. Honestly, I wouldn't have any problem eating 10-year-old peanut butter simply because there's not much there to expire. But again, just, you know, use your own judgment. Something like the cappuccino mocha, which we'll open in a second, the chocolate's probably going to be really bad. Cheese spread, I'm not going to imagine eating. None of these I'm really going to eat. Crackers, those are also pretty good. But you know, there's boat rations that have, you know, 30-year-old crackers that people end up eating. Nutrition value goes way down with age of food, but you know, as long as it's not spoiled, it's probably okay. Now we'll get here to the accessory package. Again, this also has the date 2240. Let's take a look inside here. We have the corners, if I remember right. There we go. So the corner just opens straight up. As you can see, this can get pretty crazy if you had to do all this on a campsite. Let's try another corner here. That's right, it just tears open. Spread some room here. So, start off with your Tabasco sauce. This should be red to give you an idea of why I'm not going to eat this one. That's almost a green. But you have your own little individual Tabasco sauce. You have your instant coffee. You usually have bubble gum or something chewy, so you got two things of bubble gum. A little thing of sugar. You have your iodized salt. You have your creamer for your coffee. You have a little hand wipe, moist towelette that's probably still okay. Then you have your stick of waterproof box matches, which actually do work okay. And then, of course, another thing of sugar, because I don't know if they always have two things of sugar. It might be extra, but this is, I think, one of the neatest things. This is why it's an MRE. You actually have a little thing of toilet paper. So say you get 3 of these in a day, and you go number 2 once, you have 3 things of these toilet paper ready to go. So you truly have everything you need. And then, of course, we had that spoon earlier. It's pretty, actually, a lot of ultralight hikers try to buy these because they're fairly lightweight and they're pretty rigid for their weight. I mean, they still flex, but really good there. Of course, M&M's. So what do we have all in all? We have our drink mix, we have our crackers with cheese, we have our toaster pastry, which is a Pop-Tart, we have our main dish, Country Captain Chicken, and then we have our side, the noodles and butter flavored sauce. So I'll try to cut to my kitchen where we can set this up and give you an idea of how the heating packet works, and we'll go from there. Okay, on second thought, I'll just show you real quick how this works. So this is your main entree, and you open it up, you'll notice all these, so they have the cardboard box which you can use to light on fire, and then you have your main entree, which is a mylar or basically a metallic plastic container, like a foil package. And again, these also have the dates on them, so this is 2226, and what you can do is you will, all the instructions are right here, and I understand they try to make it as simple as possible because when you're in stress, you know, your thinking abilities goes down, just like my speaking ability goes down when I make a long video like this. But we have 2 different notches here. Ideally, you tear the first one, the top one, you fill up with water, again just 3-4 tablespoons, enough to fill up to that in between this line here. You then stick your main entree through the pouch, fold that over, and you tilt it so this side's up just a little bit, and that that allows the heat to rise through the entree, so not just the bottom portion of your entree is heated. And this will last for several times. So if you have a group of you guys and you're trying to save these and conserve, and maybe use this as a heat source later, you can take this, fill that, and then you also have your noodles. Once that's done, 10-12 minutes later, once it's heated up, you might not even need that. Go ahead and slide your noodles in there. And then once that's done, you can maybe put a third thing in. But they last anywhere. I mean, always condition is dependent, but you have these 4 different heat packs inside. See if you can kind of take a look at those. It works really well to heat them up. It's fairly hot. I mean, I don't know how this plastic doesn't melt. It gets that hot, but once you're done, you can leave your entree on the inside. Tear the lower portion, tear the top portion. You can see there's kind of different levels there you can tear, and enjoy. Get your spoon, go to town. But that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Again, we'll have many more gear discussions here on the channel. You can see there's a lot of options here to eat. I'm not going to take a look at everything here, but the idea is simple. You have everything you need to consume. I mean, something like this, they all have their calorie and nutritional values posted on them, just like you buy something at the supermarket. You can get an idea of how the vitamins are broken down. I mean, truthfully, this is just stuff for you to look at if you're extremely bored, but there's some importance to it, and the idea is when you're out there, week after week, you want to be making sure your nutrition's kept up, and this is an important thing to do that. If you try to make something on your own, it's difficult to accumulate everything that you see here. I mean, we even have coffee to keep you awake in the morning, and, a drink mix. Usually it's Gatorade and or something to that effect, or tea. But you know what? It's fairly self-contained. It's a really cool idea. It's just a little heavy and a little pricey. So, and the other thing is, it doesn't last that long. Most freeze-dried foods will last up to, I think it's 8 to 10 years, depending on if it's on a pouch. And then if you're using those Mountain House number 10 cans, those last 30 years, provided it's properly stored, and so up to 30 years, as well as these typically only suspect to last about 2 to 3 years. So you're paying a lot more for a lot less duration, but at the same time, I'd still have a couple of these in your inventory if you can find them. They do serve a purpose if you just need it an instant meal without any preparation and a full diverse meal. It's a home run. Now, flavor might not be there, but what else is when you're out there camping? Unless you're able to set up a mess hall, this is a decent way to go. Just no long term. They actually do have a little bit extra salt content in them or something to that effect that does stop you up a little bit, and that's done because usually most times you're going to be consuming these. You might not have the cleanest water source, so that might be working against you, so they kind of combine. So I wouldn't recommend eating these for weeks on end if you can avoid that. So with that said, thanks again. This is About Gear, and we'll see you in the next couple videos. Click, where is it? Up here, subscribe button. Check us out, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.